All right, let's get into it. Let's talk. We alluded to Brian Robinson. That's the guy. That's the name. If you want to call him a sexy name, he's the guy that is popping up more than anyone else as far as starting Thursday Night Football. Everybody wants to know, do I plug him into my lineup? The potential's there. Like, we obviously know what he can do. Is he ready? Is it time to put him into your lineup and let the chips fall where they may? What do you think, Wolf?
It's a great question, and it obviously, of course, depends on your team. I'd be slightly hesitant. I'd love to get a tryout week and see what he does, but I also understand it is bye weeks. We got a lot of guys, Jacobs, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, out of lineups for week 6. So if you're looking for some volume, I really think the Commanders are just foaming at the mouth to give Brian Robinson this job. They eased him in last week, but even still, he was the carry leader with 9 carries compared to just 3 for Gibson. They hate Gibson. They don't want to use him at all if they don't have to, and that was already evidence in Robinson's first game back after, again, getting shot. He was the lead back in terms of carry share. He was the lead back, 29% of the snaps, but 63% of the attempts. He also ran 11% of the routes. So not even just completely two-dimensional here. He also saw 43% of the short yardage snaps. Now, remember back to preseason, before the injury with Brian Robinson, it was clear he was taking over. 225-pound bull, just getting raved about, big, strong, powerful downhill runner, according to Rivera. Gibson, a little more elusive off the edge, but Brian takes it inside, can also take it off the edge too. Now, remember, Gibson last year, 6th most red zone attempts with 43, and 6th inside the 10, 25 carries. I think all that work goes to Robinson. This is a team that likes to run it in the red zone. That's why Gibson's been a low-end RB1 the past 2 years, 7th inside the 5 carries as well, tied, on a team, again, with Taylor Heineke. I know Carson Wentz does kind of suck, but this offense has been a much more quote-unquote explosive attack with him. They put up 350 passing yards. Like, they have moved the ball fairly well in the middle of the pack in total scoring. I think he's going to get all the goal line touches, Brian Robinson. I think they're going to have no problem getting into the red zone against the Bears, who are giving up top 6 numbers to running backs already in fantasy. I could see a 2-touchdown day. I could see him approach 100 yards. He's actually my captain in DraftKings tonight. If you're doing the showdowns, he's 6,600 normally. I put him in the captain at around 9K, saved up some money. I think the guy comes out and has himself a big night. Now, I have like Jeff Wilson on my fantasy team in my flex right now. I'm not putting Robinson over him.
Exactly where I'm at. I got Wilson in my flex. If I had Robinson, I mean, it all depends who you got. I would not be starting Robinson now, not because I don't believe in him necessarily, but I just randomly happen to have 3 better options in my opinion.
Exactly. And I'm lucky. I know I'm kind of blessed in that sense, because it's very rare, especially during, like I said, these bye weeks, that you have 3 solid running back options. I do right now, so I'm not benching Jeff Wilson for a Robinson. But again, let us know. Like last week, a lot of Nyheim Hines questions, and we were pretty sturdy on bench the guy. We did not. I don't know if there's actually a single one. And he got hurt. I know, not celebrating an injury. I don't feel that way about Robinson. Like, I feel Robinson could be a real steady, solid play. So again, let us know in the questions if you have a Robinson one. We'll get to the mailbag in about 35, 40 minutes as we rip through our preview show here. Of course, Super Chats we will hit first, as you guys noticed right at the top here. So if you have a Robinson-specific question, Thursday Night Football-specific question, let us know. But again, I really, really like this guy tonight. I think they want nothing to do with Gibson. I know McKissick will get the passing down work, but I think a positive game script against a bad run D, I think it's a good night for Robinson. I have to double check where I have him in my rankings, but the more I talk about him, the more excited I get. So,
I know you are getting more and more worked up as you talk. I can tell. Real quick, like this is a $2 quick super chat. It's not Thursday Night Football related, but thanks anyway. Michael Fawcett. Real quick, Travis Etienne or Eno Benjamin to replace Derrick Henry.
Oh, it's got to be Eno Benjamin, assuming that James Conner and Darrell Williams, I think both have actually been ruled out at this point. So, yeah, it's the Eno Benjamin show. I'll talk more about him later tonight. I love the play. But facing a Seattle defense, only Houston's given up more rushing yards on the ground. He already was involved as a receiver. You're getting a 3-down back, the second highest over-under game. That has actually been pretty impressive. I haven't been a big Eno Benjamin guy throughout his career, but this season he looks like he's got it in a different gear. The coaching staff truly trusts him, and there's just nobody else. They're calling up the rookie Keontae Ingram, but I wouldn't be shocked to see 20, 25 touches against a really, really bad defense. He's a top 20 running back play for me this week. Big fan of Eno Benjamin.
All right, getting back into Washington news, we already talked about Carson Wentz and what a prolific Thursday Night Football player he's been. He's obviously off the injury report. He will be going. Don't have to go into that anymore. He's there. Diami Brown, groin. We love groin injuries, except we hate them. They suck.
Yeah.
He's listed as questionable for week 6. They say he is expected to play. That is the type of injury that can really kind of hamper your mobility, stuff like that. Don't know what your depth looks like there, but that would at least be a little bit of a concern for me. How about you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a concern, but the fact that he was quickly ruled in today, this is a guy that did some real damage. 2 catches, 105 and 2. Only on 32% of the snaps, like 25% of the routes. Wasn't a great usage standpoint, but they're clearly looking for a big play threat. You got to imagine with the way he performed last week, we see that get a little bit of an uptick. He was, again, behind Cam Sims, who didn't even see a target, though. So that's why I'm not sitting here sweating. Wouldn't be shocked at all. Their second-round rookie last year, he performed the best he's ever performed in his NFL career. And with Dotson probably back in a week or two, this is really their last shot to get another good look at him. So I don't mind De'Ami Brown. I wouldn't be putting him in most regular season redraft lineups. But again, DraftKings Showdown, I think he was at like 4K. Pretty cheap, explosive deep threat. I wouldn't be shocked to see him score at least one more deep bomb against a secondary that just isn't good and is kind of banged up right now too. So I don't mind him. I think he's in play in like DraftKings, underdog, like those type of situations. Not regular season really, but yeah, not bad. I think you could go to him if you really need something.
All right, next on the news list, Logan Thomas, calf issue. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I hate Logan Thomas. He's out for week 6 against the Bears. I hate him. I don't care that he's out. I had him briefly. I dropped him. He will not be playing. Obviously, that opens the door for second-year tight end John Bates, who caught 3 targets out of 3 balls. Caught all 3 of his targets for 39 yards, but he only played 59% of his team snaps. Probably not too excited about him. Guy you might be excited about, though, right?
No, I'm not excited about him at all.
No, I said a guy who you might be excited about is Jahan Dotson, but he's out also for week 6 against the Bears. So that sucks.
Would be very excited if he'd been playing, but yeah, I still think the guy's got league-winning upside. I've seen him get cut in a bunch of leagues. Go check before Thursday night. You can slide him into your IR spot if he's out there right now. He's going to have a nice stretch run. The kid's been he's already had a nice start to the year. Clearly trusted in the red zone, clearly trusted deep. Big Jahan Dotson fan. So if he got dropped by an impatient owner, go scoop him up ASAP.
Last but not least on this, Nikhil Harry, ankle injury. He was removed from the week 6 injury report. He will play against the Commanders. Does that get you excited at all, Wolf?
No. I mean, $200 on DraftKings. Again, a lot of these notes are
$200, really?
$200. So like the bare minimum. So I actually have him in one of my showdown slates just to save some salary and get paid up otherwise. Because, man, maybe he does catch a touchdown. They are desperate for wide receiver help there with the Bears. He's got a big red zone body. So maybe he's a pump play for you. But, man, not a big fan at all. Just for record keeping sake, I bumped Brian Robinson up. I'm looking at my rankings here, and I'm trying to debate. So maybe we can work this one out together, Truth.
Okay.
Like Brian Robinson, Kareem Hunt. Tough one, right?
Yeah. I mean, I might lean Robinson, but I feel like it's like a little bit like I want to like have some action going tonight. I don't know. What do you think?
I have him 23-24. That's where he slid in. Like,
shit.
I have Hunt just a bit higher, second, like he's got more dd zone touches than Nick Chubb so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a knock on Hunt. I mean,
not at all. Very talented guy. But you're right, like getting the juice, getting some action.
I know that's not a good reason.
Robinson. I think he's a player. Like Robinson versus Najee, who's been a complete and utter shit bum this year.
Oh man.
You'd think your first round lock should be in, right?
I mean, it's like instinctively I say Najee, but I mean, do you think Pittsburgh might be the worst team in football? Maybe
they could be. I think Houston is, but they're clipping at their heels.
Houston beat somebody last week.
The Jags.
The Jags, people were trying to say the Jags were good for a little while there.
Yeah. No.
Crazy people.
Right. They came back crashing to earth. I think I go Robinson here. Dobbins, Zeke, like if you're in that range, you want some Thursday night action. I don't think they're going to go back to Gibson. I could really see this being a Robinson night. And if they get
of those guys you just listed, I would probably go Najee over Robinson, but probably not the other 2 guys.
Yeah, AJ.
And I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about it either, but I do have to hit publish. So this goes through tonight. I get my rankings in. So that is updated. Otherwise tonight, like again, we mentioned Justin Fields in that super chat. He's got upside, but a lot of downside as well. Really not trying to go to that unless you're like a severe underdog. But I am intrigued to see what he does after his best game of the season. Was a 50-yard touchdown called back from having a 28-point day last week. So now the schedule's softening up. I'm intrigued to see what he does. Don't want any pass catchers. Mooney, making highlight play after highlight play, but it's good for one a game. So no interest there. Highlight play after highlight play, meaning like one a game, because that's all they're giving
volume for at this point. Not trying to hype up him at all. Cole Kmet, as we mentioned,
one
sucks.
catch for 8 yards or something. Give me a break.
Right. Exactly. The one other guy, though, I wanted to highlight before we get into all the other week 6 stuff is I really do like Montgomery. If we have any questions out there on him, he's running back 18. I do have him above Robinson for tonight. He ended up walking right into 36 of the 50 snaps compared to just 14 for Khalil Herbert. Saw 18 carries, 18 routes too. Very, very involved. 12 carries, 18 routes, 4 targets compared to 0 targets for Khalil Herbert compared to 4 carries for Khalil Herbert. People were worried, maybe this is back to a committee timeshare. Maybe Khalil Herbert even overtakes him because he looked pretty damn good in his starts. But no, it's clear this team is committed to Montgomery for the time being. And so I will be too in fantasy in my top 20 running backs this week, probably in my lineups against a pretty bad just overall Washington team. Could see him finding the end zone. So big fan of Montgomery tonight as well. Just wanted to make sure to get that out there. Let us know if you have any questions on it.
All right, we took a little longer on this.
What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.